It's a little bit before 4 a.m., but I don't want to go to bed yet, so I figured I would ramble for y'all. Um, First of all, I want to shout out Seamus because he asked me to shout him out because he watched all of last video and for whatever reason thought he was going to get a shout out and then didn't. So hi Seamus, thank you for watching, love you. This was the first time that I had ever done gun show before, and I thought it was a really interesting comp from a perspective of how it is reflected upon the game. Because at the end of the day, it somewhat ends up to be like rock, paper, scissors, but it's still really interesting. The strategy that goes into it and the implications of decisions and how much people can read into those decisions. So like, for example, how much does me shooting JP mean? How much does Alex shooting me mean? I don't know. Like, I know how much or how little me shooting JP meant. I don't know how much or how little Alex shooting me meant. How much does someone selfing mean? Does that mean they're throwing? Does that mean they think that they're going to get shot? How much does someone airing mean? Does that mean that the person who they want to shoot they think is going to self, or that they think they're not going to get shot? Anything that could be seen as someone potentially throwing could also be seen as a good strategy move. And that makes it a really interesting competition to think about, in my opinion. That definitely brings me some stress as a player, but as a fan of the game, it's something that really interests me a lot. And that's what I see as a component of a good competition, is that if it's balanced and fair, and as a fan of the game it intrigues me, odds are that means it's going to be a good comp in my eyes. And also I think it was probably even more magnified because it's the final in all likelihood, the final pre-jury HOH comp. And so that meant that it kind of had a different weight to it, it feels like, than the rest of the HOH comps at this point. Because, like, in my eyes, the difference between me flopping and not flopping, like, the cutoff of if I don't do this well, then I'm definitely a flop, is probably making jury. At least in my eyes. I think that circumstances are different, and so maybe if there was a time where I, like, got really robbed right before jury, maybe I wouldn't flop. I don't know. Flopping is a very nebulous definition, but at least the by and large rule in my eyes for what I would see myself as a flop or not a flop is, did I make jury? And so, like, yeah, this comp, like, this week is just, like, stressful because it's like, this is one of the first big milestones of the game. And I talked about milestones last time. I have a couple other milestones coming up, but this is like one of those first big check marks. The other ones are personal milestones, but this one is like in the game. Obviously, making it past the exile phase was nice, but I didn't go into the season expecting that. Like, the check marks that you make are make jury something. Like, make jury is usually that first big check mark in a Big Brother season. And so I'm grateful to be at this point where I'm so close to jury. I hope that making jury gives me that satisfaction that I thought, because obviously I have my sights set on bigger things than jury. I want to make it to the end and I want to win. That's the reason why I'm here. But I also know that I deserve to be proud of myself if I make jury, because it's not as easy as it seems. And this season, making jury is surviving 10 evictions. I think 10. right? Jury at 11, yeah, 10 evictions. Like, that ain't so easy. So I deserve to give myself credit where credit's due. And I'm proud of myself for making it to this point and for hopefully making jury. And no matter what happens, I will be proud of myself. Because I know that I'm giving my all to this, and I'm doing what I think is the smart move at each junction in time. And if I do those things, I think I deserve to be proud of myself no matter what happens. That's a lesson that I have really learned recently, because in the past I set an unhealthy amount of pressure on myself on checking that box of making it to the end and hopefully winning. And yes, that is so important. Like I've said, that's why I'm here, to win. But I'm not making my happiness dependent on that. I'm going to enjoy myself no matter what. I'm going to give my all, and no matter what happens, because I gave my all, I will be proud of myself. And I think that's really important at the end of the day. Thanks for watching this little ramble. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want a shout out like Seamus, let me know and I'll shout out whoever wants one. I love you all. Thank you for spectating this season. And yeah, I will send another ramble probably soon. I love rambling to the camera, and I hope y'all enjoy watching me ramble to the camera. Alright, good night, y'all.